everybody, Miss Kelly here for today's virtual library program. Today we are going to be making some origami. Okay. Has anybody ever made origami before? I'd love to hear about what kind of origami you've made when you've done it in the past. Okay. It's a lot of fun. Basically, if you're not familiar with origami, it's paper folding. So you're going to take paper and you're going to fold it into a variety of different shapes. You can do animals, you can do vehicles, you can do basically whatever your imagination comes up with. Okay. So the three shapes we're going to be making today are a dog, a sailboat, and a little hopping frog. Okay. All you're going to need to do origami along with me is paper, regular computer paper works fine, and scissors. Okay. And then I brought a marker just to kind of decorate some of my figures a little bit. So the first step is you're going to want to cut your paper into a square shape. Okay. I've got some already pre-cut that I'm going to use as my template. Okay. Hello, if you're just joining us, we are doing origami today. All right, we're going to make a frog, a sailboat, and a dog. Okay. So first we're going to cut our paper. Okay. I'm kind of using my square paper that I already cut as my template to cut some more. Okay. But basically, if you're just using regular computer paper, you're going to want to cut this little strip along the edge off. Okay. So then you'll have squares. Okay. All right. So the first origami figure we're going to be making is this little dog face. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with our paper and we are going to fold it into a triangle. Okay. So now I have my triangle. Then we are going to fold the corners of our triangle together. And we're going to unfold. So we'll have a crease right there. Okay. All right. Now we're going to fold our dog's ears down. So we're going to take this corner and we're going to fold it down. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing for the other corner. Okay. So then, see it's starting to look like the dog face, okay, with the little doggy ears. Okay. Then, all we're going to do is we're going to take this little point on the bottom and we're going to fold that up. Okay. And that just gives our dog a little more of a square chin going on there. Okay. And then we have the basics of our face. I can draw little eyes on a dog, a little triangle nose, and a mouth. And I have my little origami when you make yours, you can make the face however you like. Okay. That's the simplest figure we're going to be making today. Okay. Our origami dog. All right. Anybody make the dog along with me? All right. I'd love to see pictures of your origami after we're done. That'd be awesome if you could post some pictures in the comments. I would love to see that. Okay. All right. Our second origami figure is going to be a sailboat. Okay. This actually will make 2 sailboats, and it just is the way they direct you to make it. You just end up with 2. Okay. All right. So, again, we are going to take our square piece of paper and we're going to fold it into a triangle. Okay. Right, got your triangle? All right. So, we are going to then cut along our crease. So we will have 2 triangles. This is where the scissors come in. Okay. So now I have 1 triangle. I'm going to fold this triangle in half and open it up. Okay. Now I'm going to take my top corner and fold it down so it touches the bottom edge of the paper. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to take these 2 little triangle shapes that you can see that I created when I folded this down. I'm going to fold that up. Okay. See how I've got 1 sail there? Do the same to the other side. Now I have 2 sails. Okay. And now I'm going to fold my bottom corner up because you don't want a boat with a pointy bottom. And then I've got my sailboat. And then I can do the same exact thing with my other triangle. So I've got my boat. That one was a little harder than the dog face, but not too hard, I don't think. Right? You guys are ready for the hardest one yet? Our last one is our origami frog. Okay? And the cool thing about our origami frog is it'll actually move. It'll hop, you see. Okay. So, leave those there so you can see them. To create our hopping frog, we're going to fold our square piece of paper so that way we're going to fold it vertically, and then we're going to fold it horizontally. Okay. So we're going to end up with a paper that looks like it has 4 little squares. Okay. Now we're going to fold the corners of our squares in. Okay. So that way they touch the very center of our paper. Okay. Kind of almost reminds me of making a cootie catcher, right? Now we're going to take the squares along the edge, okay, the 2 edges, and we're going to kind of fold it so it's like a kite. Okay, see how I'm taking this side and I'm going to fold it in. Okay, so it'll be like a kite. Okay. And I've got my kite shape. Now I'm going to fold the very bottom point of my kite. Sorry, no, I'm going to fold the top, the shorter point of the kite. Up. Okay, so then I'm going to have a triangle. And then I'm going to fold the corners of my triangle in. Okay. That's where it gets a little tricky. After you fold it several times, the paper gets kind of thick. It makes it harder to fold. Okay. So now I've got, kind of almost looks like a house, doesn't it? A long, tall house. So now I'm going to fold the bottom part of the frog. Now this is the part that's going to allow it to hop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it up, and then I'm going to fold it down, so that it kind of looks like a Z shape. Okay. It looks like a little kind of spring that will allow the frog to hop. Okay. Now the final thing we're going to do is we are going to fold our frog's nose in. Okay. So now we've got our hopping frog. Right? We can draw little faces on our frogs, some eyes. We can even draw like some warts. Little bumps, so kind of like toads have, right? All right. So those are our 3 origami figures for today. Right. I'd love to see what you came up with at home if you followed along with me. Right. Post some pictures in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to see you. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in and watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me for a little fun. Okay. Next week, we are doing some fairy tale themed crafts. Okay, so if you like crafts, you're definitely going to want to join us next Wednesday. at 11. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has an awesome day. Bye.